Hey friends, it's Shauna from glittergiftsandmore.com. I make glitter tumblers, I sell water slides, and I sell glitter. We're going to do a quick video on how we created this glow-in-the-dark Halloween tumbler. We started with a 20-ounce skinny tumbler that we spray painted white after sanding and washing. I might have said that in the wrong order, but you know what I mean. We traced the bottom of that into chipboard, cut that circle in half, fold that circle in half, and then cut it. What we're trying to do is find the halfway distance for the tumbler that's going to be used to divide the cup in half. So we make two little marks on the bottom of the cup, and those are going to be our guides for the electrical tape. Now we're using this to divide the cup because half of the cup is going to have that glitter back and the other half is going to have the glow-in-the-dark front. The division does not have to be precise because we are going over both of those with a spray painted border, but we want it to be as close as we can get it. Once we are done with the electrical tape, we're going to grab some painter's tape and we're going to block off the front of the cup because we want that to stay white for the glow-in-the-dark portion. But the back portion I'm using iridescent glitters on, and I loved the look of these glitters on a black base for this particular cup. So we're going to take that outside and we're going to spray paint it black before we start to Mod Podge. Of course, we let the spray paint dry. Now we're Mod Podging using a matte Mod Podge, and that is available on Amazon. I just buy the great big jug of it. Now when you're doing the Mod Podge method, you want to make sure you don't have any lumps, bumps, or ridges in your in your Mod Podge, because it will show through for the glitter, but it's less important on the first layer of glitter like we're doing than it is on the second layer of glitter where a lot more will show. But you want to be as close to smooth as possible. So this is just for base coverage right now. It is okay if the ombre is not perfect, but you can see as I'm creating the ombre, I am holding the cup at an angle and sprinkling down to create some drop down. That's how you're going to avoid having those really hard lines between the colors. The colors of the glitters that we are using for this are Magic Mist, Pretty Please, Beauty Berry, FrankenFairy, and Wicked Witch in that order from bottom to top. And they're all available at glittergiftsandmore.com, as well as the water slide we're going to be using too. So you can see right there how the jar of glitter is held up higher, the cup is tilted up, and that glitter is sprinkling down instead of having one hard line through the glitter where the two colors transition. Once we let this dry, we're going to go ahead and dry brush that. You can seal your glitters if you so choose. I don't most of the time. I usually just dry brush them using a hard bristle brush. I don't know where I got this particular brush from, but someone a few videos back had said they used a toothbrush and it worked great. So if you can't find a paintbrush you like, try a toothbrush. Once you get the loose glitter brushed off, we're going to go through with our next layer of glitter and Mod Podge. We're using the same colors in the same order, though you can adjust if you didn't like the layout. You know, with the thickness of each color, you can adjust that at this point if you want more of one color or less of another. So this one is the Magic Mist, which we're putting on the bottom of the cup, letting that sprinkle down. Moving into Pretty Please. And you could use these exact same glitters on a white base and you'll get a little bit different of a look. I don't remember if I had already said, the way I decided to do the black base for this, and you can do this with any iridescent glitter, is sprinkle a little bit of glitter on a white piece of paper, sprinkle a little bit on a black piece of paper, see which one you like the look of. That helps decide if I want to spray paint the base white, black, or you could do it with any variety of colors. So we're moving on to FrankenFairy, and then ending with Wicked Witch. While the glitter is still wet, we're going to remove all of the tape. That helps keep the ridges in the glitter to a minimum from pulling the tape up. Once the tape is off of there, we're going to go ahead and let it dry. When we come back after it's dry, we're going to be taping off the glitter side a little bit. I'm not putting tape over the entire glitter side, I'm just creating an edge because we're going to do the glow-in-the-dark epoxy. So I do go ahead and spray paint, or I'm sorry, seal this glitter. I dry brush it after it dries, and then I seal it. And I did that so that it wouldn't move into the glow-in-the-dark portion. So this is glow-in-the-dark powder mixed into my epoxy, and this is the first layer of epoxy we're putting on this cup at all. But we're only putting it on the white half of the cup. So I have electrical tape dividing the glitter from the white portion to keep the glow-in-the-dark epoxy from moving into the glittered areas. So I'm going to let that cure. Then I did a second layer of glow-in-the-dark epoxy and a single layer of epoxy, regular epoxy, over the glitter. So right now everything is fairly smooth. The glitter doesn't have to be completely smooth at this time, but we do need that glow-in-the-dark area to be smooth so that we can apply our water slide. Now we mirror imaged this water slide because we're going to apply it in reverse. That just means we're going to put the print side onto the cup and pull the backing from the top instead of pulling the backing from behind. That is the only difference with applying a water slide in reverse, is that the print touches the cup and your images should be mirrored if they have words. Otherwise, they'll be backwards when you apply them. But as you've seen, it's super easy to do. Everything else is the exact same way. So once you pull that backing off of the front, you use your rubber or silicone squeegee to pull the water out from behind, and you use a paper towel to dry that up. The silicone squeegees are linked in the video description, so if you want to take a peek, I get those off of Amazon as well. And I love them for doing water slides, but there's people who epoxy with them as well. I've done it a few times, but I generally am just too lazy to clean up afterwards. So at this point, the cup has been epoxied over the water slide again. So the first coat of epoxy over the water slide, but the entire cup has been epoxied, if that made sense. Now we're creating little windows where we want no spray paint to go. So we're about to spray paint the cup the black for the border that we were talking about before. And I don't want to have to take unnecessary paint off, so we are masking off our little windows for the front and the back of the cup. So I know I want the design showing, so we just use painter's tape for that. And then I'm going to turn the cup over and just create a little rectangle in the back where the glitter is going to show. And I didn't measure this, I just eyeballed it all out. And I love the way that glitter ombre came out. Those colors, I just loved the way they came out. So once we get our tape on there, we're going to take that outside. We're going to spray paint all of the cup using the matte black spray paint. Now that the spray paint is dried, we're going to go through and remove the tape, and I want to roughen up those edges, which is why I really didn't care how the tape was laid. I just knew that we needed those images exposed. So we're going to take acetone and roughen up the edges to get a little bit of a worn away look. Sorry about hitting the camera there. It wouldn't be a video I made if I didn't. You guys should be used to it by now, but I still apologize. It's never intentional. So we're using 100% pure acetone to roughen up the edges. I take a little bit of paint away at a time. You can always take more if you want more showing. So just a little bit at a time. Don't mind the black that's moving into the design area. We'll get that taken off with alcohol next. I do the same thing to the back, taking a little bit off each time, because I go over it a couple of times. It's not all on video, but I go over it a couple of times, taking a little bit off each time to get that rough edge. And once we get the look we like, we will go through with 91% alcohol to clean up the paint that smeared into the design and glitter areas. That cleans it right up. After this, you are ready for your last layer of epoxy. I do wash the cup with Dawn dish soap, and I did seal this one, the entire cup, with a glossy clear sealer before I moved on to the last and final coat of epoxy. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. I appreciate you guys watching. If you are interested in any of the glitters, you can get those at glittergiftsandmore.com. Thanks, guys.